Well, hi there. This is Shena Collins. Today I bring you season 2, episode 2 of Bantering Fool podcast of What's Next. And I am lumping everything that I do under Shena Collins. So I'm going to show you a video montage of many, many mugs. Shena Strong, Chemo Cosmetics, Grapevine Galleria, and Bantering Fool podcast. So here we go. Let's get ready to listen to season 2, episode 2. I thought it would just be nice to publish this to YouTube with the video montage of showing how I pulled everything I'm working on together and put it all under one umbrella of myself as a entrepreneur. And so here we go. Let's give it a listen. Are you ready? Here we are. Drum roll, please. I don't know how to add that sound yet, so we're just going to have to listen. We all have things in our head that we cannot get rid of. Thoughts that just keep mulling around, and usually these thoughts are nothing productive. Join me as I help you navigate through these thoughts and how do we change our thinking from being worried all the time to feeling anxiety all the time to feeling the pressure of everything to transforming that fear and anxiety into something productive to propel and move you forward instead of letting it seize you up and hold you tight. I know this very well. My name is Shena Collins, and I am a breast cancer thriver. Please join me in my podcast, The Bantering Fool, as I journey along a road to self-improvement, self-love, and beating anxiety as a cancer thriver. Thank you for listening. Well, hello everybody. I need to change the intro. I really like that one, so we're going to start doing that. So, might hear some background noise in here today. My coffee pot's percolating, my dog's nails are click-clacking. Anyway, so, hey, here we are. Shena Collins here, your hostess. Here we are. It is February the 17th, 2023. I had my last breast cancer related surgery on January 31st, 2023. Woo, insert applause here. I don't know if I can do that. I'm still learning this and building this, but I love doing what I'm doing here. So anyway, I need to change the intro, as I start this next series of what's going on here. Second, I want to run by you. I want to vote. So we know that I started that book when my breast cancer journey began, but as it's evolved, I have found through doing different outreach and being working in areas where other business professionals are there to lift each other up and grow and succeed from the small business format, which is where I feel that I can offer value as well. I recently was on the Wisconsin Business Pandemic Pulse podcast. I will post a link to that in the section here. And the whole thing is about how small businesses survived the pandemic or how they didn't. And I think that that's really interesting. And so what I've decided, so what we're going to vote on is with that book, okay, I feel that it's been, a divine intervention that it's taken this long, because now I can collect my journal writings, my stories, my feelings. I can put them together in a more cohesive format. So I was going to call the book The Fierce Siren, and it does have a Facebook page. But as I go through my writings and other things like that, it does not seem to really fit the mold of what more I have to offer. So, and I have to gratefully thank God, the universe, synchronicity, Arcelia Esparza of Midwest Mujeres, and I will post info to that too. And please forgive my bad Spanish accent because, I'd really like to try. I struggle. I'm a white farm girl from Wisconsin, from Iowa. And I've been in Wisconsin for over 20 years, let's just put it that way. And so I really I've known Arceli for a long time, and it was a real honor to participate in what she was doing, and what all of these other amazing women are doing. And so it got me thinking, because we had talked about my experience of being a small brick and mortar store owner, as well as having the my online things and the breast cancer journey and the pandemic. So we had a really fun, lighthearted conversation on the podcast, which I'll post a link to. However, this got me to thinking that I need to change the name of my book. Okay, Fierce Siren, because at the time when I was first diagnosed with breast cancer, that was a hard time. And a siren is, a mermaid that calls sailors in and smashes their boats upon rocks, okay? So the Fierce Siren, it was that cancer pulling me in. Because at the same time, I really had a choice to live or die. I had a choice to keep fighting. I had a choice to give up everything. I had a choice to close up shop. And I also had other things in my life that I was forced into. And I was really irritated at the time. And, of course, all of the choices that we make and all of the things that we say along the way, they all smash into what we become and who we become and where we go in life. And so, oh my gosh. So I'm thinking about all this, and I believe that it's divine timing that I didn't push myself to chunk out the book right away. I do not feel that I was in a proper place emotionally. And, now, really what I've been working on since this breast cancer journey began, I did the crowdfunding. I've been doing, slowly building these podcasts. Sometimes I listen to a lot of podcasts throughout my day, and oh my gosh, I wish I just had a regular schedule. I was there. I wish I could be at that point right now, but it's still in the growing and building phases, because I'm still managing my health, and I'm also still working on what's happening next at the brick and mortar store. So, with all of that in mind, I think that the book needs to change. So, the hardest part of this journey for me was seeing dreams fall away, having plans completely and utterly changed, having a life that just became so weirdly different. But so anyway, what I want to title the book is, and I want your opinion on this, Don't Tell Your Investors. This and Other Lessons Cancer Taught Me. So that would be kind of the spin off of the Robert Fulghum. Or I could be, Don't Tell Your Investors. Lessons Cancer Taught Me. Which I don't like that one as much, because if you know me, I talk a lot and I have a lot that I think about. So we're putting it there. Because combined with being involved with the podcast with Araceli and me having already ventured out there, me putting my neck out on the line to fundraise to try to keep a dream alive that I had when cancer struck and some other weird stuff that was pandemic related happened, to popping into that place of making hard decisions of what I was going to do. I've been really working and developing my newsletter on LinkedIn, and I like this format. my personal background, I was a communication arts student and studied journalism and public relations, some television, some radio, mostly, my emphasis was public relations. So that combined with my faith life, because I believe that, now that I am on this side, I am post cancer, but still healing. I'm still working these things out. So I find that, we go from there and we're moving up. And so I'm sharing that. It was such a tumultuous wave time in my life. And I have found that, my faith journey has also deepened through this. Things, it's so true. Things don't always work out as we plan they would, but they work out for what best serves us. And it does not mean that I'm sitting here today coming to you saying that I haven't had to work hard for everything. I'm not still working hard for everything, that I'm not making, or that I'm making, the best decisions and choices that I can. Because all through this cancer journey, I have still tried to maintain some sense of purpose. And I believe that's really what this is some sense of purpose. My purpose and my commitment to want to continue to be part of a community and keep a store open, even through a cancer journey and a pandemic, because, I enjoy the people that come in and say hi, and I love my seasonal folks, and I love having the store, and I just enjoy doing that. And now I love it that I've branched into these other areas of life again, because cancer forced me, and the disposal of a dream to open a second store forced me into, I was stuck at home. I was recovering. I was figuring out ways to move ahead. And so it forced me into going back to what I got my pedigree in communication arts. And we have all of this social media out here. And I started writing again. And so through this, I have learned a lot. And also through it, my faith has been strengthened so much. So these are all of these areas I want to touch on in the podcast, and I'm working on that in my LinkedIn letter. You can read that information there. I had started a 5-part series last month about being in business through cancer and the pandemic. And so I think I found a way to blend everything that I started to work on as when cancer struck me and I couldn't be fully present in my small business. And, and now I'm becoming healthier and I can start to fully bring these things to fruition. It's not initially what I set out to do. I at first, was working on, I had done a lot of grant writing and was working on community enhancement programs and checking into rural block grant. I had a dream like so many before me, and now I find myself, it's been refocused in a different way. It's been refocused on working on beginning a not-for-profit. It's focused on attacking, and not attacking is in a bad way, but attacking the situation of the small business model in a small rural town, and branching and growing from that. I see in my church all the time the people. I mean, I'm 48 years old, and we have an aging population, and I am saddened that I don't see as many people closely connected to the faith. I know life makes them busy and things like that, but I just, it seems like I still believe that this is a purpose that I've been pushed into, that I'm not going to give up, that I'm not going to back down, because every time I've had thoughts of doing something like, let's say, oh, I don't want to do my podcast anymore. I'm done with that. No, I do want to do my podcast. I enjoy this. Or I didn't keep my deadline with the Fierce Siren book, which is no longer the Fierce Siren book. We're changing that to Don't Tell Your Investors. This and other lessons cancer taught me. I think that's the one I like the best. Because there's small snippets in life, and that's often what we share. And becoming involved with Araceli and seeing so many other storytellers and having the value and the experience, so kind of also, my mama always told me, be careful of what you wish for, because
hello,
you might
everybody.
not like the answer you're going to get or how it happens. Like, right? It's so true. I think that I've had these situations in life, from the acquisition of a business, the assuming of a former business's obligations, to working in the avenues of bringing together fundraising and learning those avenues for other not-for-profits, and then taking that and turning that into an avenue where I had utilized that even in difficult times, to work on a dream of finding a way to keep retention and of people in our rural communities. I lived in Madison, Wisconsin, and I moved to Wisconsin when I got married, and my ex-husband grew up here. And I have found such a wonderful community here, my faith community, those around me. It's just been absolutely wonderful. And I, really wanted to find a way to help enhance my community. And, I think having thriving businesses and supporting small business is just really cool. I've been in small business all my life. And, we just keep chugging ahead. And now I feel that I have all of this value. I was brave. I can't believe I had the guts to do some of the stuff I did at the time of building and growing my business. And, then I have that woman thing stuck in my head, like, how dare you be such a big, bold woman and work hard towards your dreams and go for what you want and put it out there and say everything that you want to happen and do it. How dare you? But you know what? Through this cancer journey, I've also reconnected with like-minded people, and relationships have started to build and grow. That, we agree, we are all children of God. And not all these, I'm not saying these are all people that go to my church that think this, or that, that's me speaking for them. But we believe in community and lifting each other up, and that when we work together, we thrive and we become better as a community as a whole. And, it's so true. Collaborative business is just utterly amazing. And I'm so grateful to be part of some of the networking groups I am. I'm so grateful to be part of some of the, being in the networks of women that are really moving and shaking things, and I still have my men I like to watch too, excuse me while I take a drink of water here. Steve Harvey is one of my favorites. Lately, I've been watching his motivational videos on YouTube, and they seem to be fulfilling a certain part of me. And you also need good people to take you under your wing and, help you through things and reach out to your resources. So here we go again. I'm, like I said, I'm happy. I want to share my experience. So we're changing the name of the book. Cancer was a fierce siren. Cancer was pulling me into my death. Cancer gave me the opportunity to be pulled into death. And instead, I decided to fight and to live. And some of these days, I wonder why I did that. Like, really? I look at how hard I have had to work to keep everything together. And through it all, I've given myself diversions and projects to work on and not wasted time. I've documented things, I've journaled, I've written, I've worked on podcasts. I've done videos, I've crowdfunded. Like, wow, I have made myself so freaking vulnerable out here. And I look at it all and I'm just standing right in here. I'm in awe. And not awe like as an egotistical way or anything, but I've had some dark days lately, and I've just been in awe of how still, even in these dark moments, I can have moments of light again. That I have groups of people around me that help me brainstorm and try to figure out a way to take the next step. And that's exactly where I'm at. And right now, we are in the planning phases of taking the next step. And I'm excited because, I am so ready to get back to work. I'm so ready to start doing things like having a booth in the pavilion at our Marquette County Fair like I did for years and years and years. The last probably 5 years of my life, since 2000, last 5 years, since the fall of 2018, my life started to change very dramatically. So anyway, back to the main point. Now that I have moved beyond getting over the guilt of not keeping my deadline of getting that book out, I had a sponsor that sponsored an editor for me, and she's still waiting on me to get her things, and I know that sucks. But I feel that now I'm ready and I'm prepared to, and I have figured out a way to combine everything that I do and put it all under one roof. And that has taken me a while, but I have to say that kudos do go out to Araceli, because that girl, she gave me at a point in time what I needed to help me and what lifted me up. And, I would like to say that also with Araceli and myself, that is, she broke my heart during my cancer journey, and not broke my heart in a bad way, but in a good way. Because one thing you find when you're going through cancer is sometimes people will tell you things that they think about you. And sometimes these are things that you never, ever, ever, ever knew. And all I'm going to tell you, people, is you just never know how you are going to touch somebody's life. Whether it be for a season, whether it be for a moment, whether it be for 3 seconds, whether it be for a lifetime. And so I would like to say that, at a point when I was trying to figure out what's going to happen, she helped me out. And also working with Michelle Young-Long of The Practice. I like her Sunday services. She helps us women get in touch with ourselves. I love Coach Mo Fall. You can follow her. Like, she is inspiring, and I'd love to be professionally coached by her. And then I love that badass Katrina Ruth from Australia. I love that. And then I already mentioned I'm into Steve Harvey. So, and I've already mentioned, I'm very strong in my faith, and my faith life has changed dramatically since it began since it began again in, I would say it was 2014. It was Christmas 2014 when my friend Margaret took me to the Christmas program at the church, and that started my return to the Catholic faith. And I have definitely, since my divorce and surgery and everything, especially since my surgery in 2015 and my divorce that started right after I got sick, my life, I've really grown spiritually, and I believe that I've grown closer to God, and I try to every day, and I believe that God plays such a role in my life. And I would be doing such a disservice if I did not share my story with other people and share my dream and my fight to survive and figuring out the next wave of things in life. So Anyway, yeah, I have some phone calls to make to some good people. You need good guides in life, and we're getting it figured out. But I want to change the name of the book because I want short snippets, like Robert Fulghum's "All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten" or the Chicken Soup for the Soul books. I want those short stories. I love working as a storyteller and being motivational, telling my story and offering that opportunity. And I love how I've been able to weave all of my experience from fundraising and then to reconnecting with other people in life that have exceeded and excelled that I've, watched journey. And right now I know I'm focusing a lot on Arceli just because she's the one I feel that has encouraged me most in doing my media work. I have watched many of you, some of you from Madison, Wisconsin might remember Liquid Lyrics Lounge, the old Dudleys in Madison, Wisconsin, and I had bartended there when that was Liquid Lyrics Lounge. And there's a handful of you that I'm friends with on Facebook from that time, and we sat around and talked about what we wanted to be when we grew up, okay? And we were in our 20s, we were still seeking, searching, and now I have seen all of us accomplish those tasks in one way, shape, form, or the other. And we've been vulnerable in our journeys, and we've been strong in our journeys, and it's so wonderful. So I don't want any of you to feel left out. I'm, right coming to mind, right now is like Rob Dees and Joey B and, Don Rumbert, some of these men that, Don Rumbert was already grown up and he's done his thing. But, the way that they've traveled through life and pursued their passions and their dreams, I've seen us all become living in these lives that, we've wanted, whether it's teaching music, whether it's doing community involvement, whether it is, retirement and spending your time enjoying doing what you love still, like playing music, and things to aspire to. And I also had so many other people in my life that that post the Liquid Lyrics Lounge days. But these people I've watched grow and become and mold into what they are. And then I have the group of people from when I owned my painting business for years in Madison that I've networked with. And just those that have been in and out of my life. And you never know where that's going to go. But Arceli made me realize that I have a valuable story, that I have something to share and teach others now. And I just needed to put that all together. So we umbrellaed it. So if you looked at my LinkedIn page, it has everything that I do. So the Grapevine Galleria, which is my brick and mortar antique vintage store in Westfield, Wisconsin. Don't try to come up here right now. We are closed because at least until March. And I say at least you want to stay with the updates because all of this right now depends on my healing. And I'm getting ready to take the next phase of, I have a lot of inventory that came in that actually is going to be going online, which is a project I had started on pre-cancer. So doing that, and then I have the many, many mugs because I've been enjoying creating coffee mugs because those of you that know me know I love coffee. And if you don't know me now, you know I'm a coffee junkie and I shouldn't be drinking coffee because I have tachycardia, which is a heart condition where your heart beats over 100 miles per minute at all times. Right? And then I have the Shena Strong page. That was for my crowdfunding. That was for anybody to offer me encouragement or to give gifts of money to help me through my cancer journey. People want to help people, they do. And people want to help others, people. That's what I was trying to say there. And we want to give them the opportunities to do that because I believe if we don't allow others the opportunity to help us, that, that does affect our karma. I've had many teachers tell us that. And, plus, my faith, I'm Catholic. I'm not ashamed to say it. And part of that is doing good, giving to the poor, seeing those that are imprisoned, doing all those things. And, sometimes being imprisoned is not always being in prison. Sometimes it's being in prison in your situation, your body, if you have a health crisis, okay? There's all of these ways, and to grow and build your community and enhance it. So I'm really working on that and bringing it all together and still working on that. So we have Grapevine Galleria, many, many mugs, which are all these side shoots I started while I was recovering from cancer, and things were hairy at the store, and I experimented with having friends help and other employees and all that stuff, X, Y, and Z, and what it does to keep a small business functioning. And so now we go on that next course and battle of it. And that also goes into with having mentors and guidance. And fortunately, in my community, I do have some other people that own businesses that have come to, be there with me to give me guidance and suggestions and help and things like that. So that's been good. Then I have the chemo cosmetics, which I'm doing with one of our local Mary Kay ladies, who's a friend of mine. She and I are working the program Chemo Cosmetics. The goal is to give cosmetics bags to those that are going through chemotherapy. So we're working on starting that not-for-profit, and I have to thank my friend Sarah from college for giving me the inspiration to do that. She has a project that she started during her breast cancer diagnosis, and Sarah was the first person to reach out to me when I announced I had breast cancer. And so I find that, thank you, Sarah. So working with the chemo cosmetics. And then, of course, here, you're listening on the other platform, Bantering Fool. So that is the Bantering Fool. And then on LinkedIn, I'm just Shena Collins. That's where I lump everything I do. So Shena does many, many mugs. Shena Strong, Grapevine Galleria, Bantering Fool, many, many mugs. So I have those things in my life, and I enjoy that. It's all kept me busy. It's all kept me going. Things didn't turn out how I was planning them when cancer gave me a sock in the gut. And things seldom go as planned. I'm going to tell you that. I guess the best plan we can have in life is chaos. So, but I'm lumping all that stuff under Shena Collins. So working to brand myself. And I think that's important. And in the business world, it's really coming out of that branding of a brand. It's branding yourself as a business professional, whether it's for contractual work, going back into the W-2 workforce, and doing the things that you do as a small business owner to keep going. And the reasons why we are small business owners. My reason for being a small business owner is different from somebody else. For me, I love having a brick and mortar store, and that's why I fought so hard to keep it open through my cancer journey, so I'd have something to go back to. I love being a steward of my community the best I can, and having a welcoming store on the corner of our downtown, and working with our other small businesses in town to, when people come visit us, we're right off the interstate. We have a lot of tourism. I love doing that, and just that connection with people. It feeds that side of me where I like to, that's that Iowa girl in me. I like to sit around and chew the fat with folks, and I really enjoy that. So that the store provides me that, and it helps me have the experience to help others considering going into business. Because most small businesses fail within the first 5 years. And that was a statistic before the pandemic. That was a statistic before Shena had breast cancer. Not that that matters, but that, and now I think that, it's higher. And, people are still starting businesses right now. And I think that if we have these frank and open discussions, that we can all go places. So anyway, we're changing the name of the book, and it's going to be more suiting. And this is getting to the publisher. And thank you shout out to Amber Zorn for telling me to get on Amazon. And all right, I'm keeping my podcast to 33 minutes. So, and that's significant. It's my post office box. Shena Strong 33 is one of my handles, and I will re-listen to this and try to post all the links that I can connected to this. I need to become better at that and more refined, but thanks for bearing with me. So my book coming out and what I'm working on my LinkedIn newsletters is lumping everything else under myself, my becoming an accidental digital creator, what I'm doing next with the brick and mortar store and where that's going, what I am doing personally and professionally, and where we are moving from that, and how I'm working on getting connected. All right, I'm still going over. We're going to hit the 3-second mark. It's Shena Collins with Bantering Fool signing off, but that's a quick rundown of what's on my mind today. I just had to shout out a blurb. All right, peace and love, my friends. Thank you for joining me yet again for another episode of Bantering Fool. This is Shena Collins, your hostess. I'm signing off. Bantering Fool is a production of Shena Strong. It is recorded in the Shena Strong Studios in beautiful Westfield, Wisconsin. The studios are located in Shena's home. That's why you might hear some and thank you for joining me yet again for another episode of Bantering Fool. This is Shena Collins, your hostess. I'm signing off. Bantering Fool is a production of Shena Strong. It is recorded in the Shena Strong Studios in beautiful Westfield, Wisconsin. The studios are located in Shena's home. That's why you might hear some interesting background noise like dogs barking. If you like me as a creator and you want me to keep bringing you these podcasts, please head over to my Ko-fi page, and you can either become a sustaining member or help me out with a one-time gift. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk tomorrow. Take care. Peace and love, my friends, and God bless. Bye-bye. Okay, so just a little montage there of many, many mugs, Grapevine Galleria, Chemo Cosmetics, Shena Strong, Bantering Fool, what's coming up. So I'm really excited for what's coming up with Bantering Fool. I'm getting ready to, for the first time, have guests on the show. How exciting is that? And I hope you enjoyed the video montage. I threw together some pictures over the years of my cancer journey, and then also, what I'm doing now, because of course, as I talked about in the podcast, it's that personal branding. And that is how I feel that, there's the world out there is so changed since the pandemic and the economy, and with social media and the World Wide Web and online shopping and all of these deliveries and wonderful home things. But somehow, we still need to have informed communities. We are humans. But I do find it very exciting to be able to use my background in communication arts and my training and all of my years of experience of working in parks and recreation and teaching wellness, combined with all the years that I've done sales and fundraising and promoting and community outreach for other people that have been starting businesses, and then as well as doing that for my own business purposes and carrying that through a pandemic and through a cancer journey, and now taking that and building and growing upon it to continue to share with you my experience as I move forward. and I can share with you up to the point I'm at right now of the day and the time that I record this. And hopefully I can inspire you, and hopefully you had a good laugh at some of the pictures I showed. I threw in some fun ones from when I was a kid, and thanks for watching. Peace and love. Shena signing off. Shena Strong.